Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel. Now today we're having a look at some batteries for our quads. I'm having a look at this battery here. It's from a relatively new company that's appeared in the last few months or so, a company called Allline. Now, as far as I can see, the guy running this company used to work for GMB and has split off from that company to create his own LiPo packs. And this is one of the batteries that he's come up with and his company. Now, GMB, if you don't know, they're an amazing company for lipos. They make everything, from 1S lipos all the way up, and they have a lot of respect in the industry. A lot of people love their packs. I really do like them, especially on my micros. Little 1S 300 milliamp GMB lipos are excellent on your brushless whoops, all the way up to some nice 4S, 6S lipos on your 5-inch and beyond size quads. So, as a company with some good pedigree, and this guy's come from them wanting to do something different. Now he's created loads of different batteries, some smaller 1S, 2S I believe, all up to 4S and beyond. Really trying to corner the market with what he says are true C rating. So not sort of a made up C rating, 200, 300 C, whatever. But he's saying that the C rating that these packs have is a genuine C rating. So it's certainly worth our interest and worth having a look. And there's been a few videos online looking at some of the other lipos that are produced by Allline. But this one really piqued my interest out of all the other batteries. Now this isn't a LiPo battery, it's a lithium ion battery pack. They're saying 15 to 30 C, so normally we'd look at something like this, 4S, 2000 milliamp lithium ion pack, and we think, oh, okay, maybe if our goggles can take a pack like this, that'd be good. Perhaps we put them in a nice long range wing so we can get some nice good flight times. But we wouldn't really think to put these in our quads. But this one, on the page that I bought it from, on the product page, it said this was alright for Cinewhoops. So, well, I've got a Cinewhoop here. So I thought, well, let's not give it a try. Let's see if we can get some flight times out of this, how it flies with this particular pack. I thought I'd do it in conjunction with some other batteries that I like to use with this quad. So firstly, we've got, this is the LiPo that HGLRC recommend for this sort of style, their Sextor 150 style quad that they produce. It's an 850 4S. This is an R-line from Tattoo, so 95C, quite a high C rating with an XT60. This is quite a nice sort of medium-sized 4S LiPo, something you'd use maybe in a 4-inch, maybe in an ultralight 5-inch, or perhaps on a Cinewhoop. So we're going to use this pack and see how it goes. But also we're going to use the pack that I've been finding pretty good on this particular build, which is these 1300 milliamp lipos from Evonik. And I've got some lipos this sort of size from, I've got some Tattoo and other companies as well. The 1300 milliamp is just narrow enough on this point here to be able to fit across the back of the quad like so, without being too wide, sort of spilling over into being above the props and things like that. So it's just narrow enough just to fit on that plate on the back of the Cinewhoop, and obviously it gives us some nice long flight times as well. But there's a trade-off with that. With extra weight, we're affected by performance. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at, let's move this out of the way. We're going to look at the flight times and performance we get out of these three packs. Firstly, we'll have a look at the Allline, the 200 milliamp lithium ion. Secondly, we're going to have a look at the 850 4S and then the 1300 4S. We're just going to have a brief look at some DVR footage. Just going to talk you through it as well, looking at flight time, seeing how the battery drops and how it recovers, and then just generally flying about. So it's not exactly an exciting video, but we're just going to have a look and see the performance. Yes, you can fly it with this battery, but are we going to be bothering to look at this one to get extra performance over perhaps this 850? Well, we'll have a look and answer that question together. So yeah, without further ado, let's cut to some DVR footage and we'll go through that together now. So we're starting with the Allline, the lithium ion, about 1.15 volts starting off, but it really takes a nosedive, as you can see. Come up to about 50% throttle. It's quite heavy. It's 195 grams for this lithium ion battery, so quite weighty. Flies quite nicely, handles quite well. As we said, it's a Cinewhoop, so it's not going to handle really well, but it's flying quite nicely. Here we are after about a minute or so of flight, and down to about 3.5 volts where the low battery warning comes on. And we keep flying with that on because the voltage isn't sagging out. So we'll see how we can do, how much more we can push it. So after a minute, it's not satisfactory. But here we are, we get to 4 minutes, as you can see there. 4 minutes of flight time, and finally we land, and it's going back to 3.65 volts. So really nice, good flight time out of that battery. Happy with that. So next is the R-Line. 101 grams is the 850, so you can already see it's flying a lot better, a lot more sprightly, a lot more performance. This was much lighter, I mean, almost 100 grams lighter than we were before. So it's flying quite nicely. And as we can see, we're going around about 40% throttle, so that's pretty good with the lighter weight. Keep flying, and as we can see, we come in here to land just as the low battery warning comes on. We want to land at that point. Don't want to sag out the LiPo, and coming in just 4 minutes, so about the same sort of flight time as we got out of the R-Line, so that's pretty good. Happy with that. Better performance, about the same flight time. So that's the R-Line from Tattu, the 850, which is the recommended size for this quad. Now we go to the LiPo that I like to fly, which is the Ovonic. It's a 1300 mAh 4S coming in at 159 grams, so the weight in between the two previous batteries, and we can feel that weight again, but it's flying quite nicely and handling quite nicely, hovering around about 40 to 45% throttle, so we're feeling that lighter weight off the R-Line battery, but it's flying quite nicely. Handles quite well. We don't get the voltage sag. We're still hovering around about the 4 volts here after 30 seconds. And after almost 6 minutes now, flight time, really flying well. So we get nice long flight times with this. And then I go on to make a mistake because we're getting to the point where it could flash up and I start flying away from myself. And 6 minutes, and this happens. Yep, get the battery voltage warning, and the LiPo starts sagging out, dropping down very, very quickly. So 6 minutes, I think, really is the limit on this LiPo. But 6 minutes is excellent for this quad. It's a pretty heavy quad, heavy enough to need registration. So yeah, fortunately, we managed to rescue the LiPo because that was not good going on the 13 volts. So what can we say in conclusion? Well, really impressed. For a lithium-ion battery, it flies really, really nicely in this quad. Handles really well. There's the extra weight there, yeah, but flies fine. In a wing, it'd be excellent. You probably get quite good flight times out of a wing. And even in a Cinewhoop, you can use it for a Cinewhoop, so their claim is accurate. I can say that. Does it fly as well as the 850, which you get about the same amount of flight time? Well, no, but it's cheaper than the 850, so there's that to balance out. So there you go. I'm well impressed with this lithium-ion pack, and I'll more than happily look at getting some other batteries from the same company. So there we are. Information's there. If you want to look at the video, look at all the DVR footage that I put in there, and you can make your own mind up. But I'm really impressed. So thanks so much for watching, and perhaps I'll catch you in another video in the future. Take care. Bye-bye.